still haven't gotten around to setting up like a whole live situation, and frankly, I'm just trying to be in tune for this live. I'm a little bit out of tune right now, and when I'm like this, I just don't talk at all because I feel like it's bothersome. When instead I could actually just be in tune. I don't know, it's a whole thing. It's kind of hard. But yeah, okay. I figured like why not have like a fun Friday. Oh, I figured why not have like a fun Friday that doesn't get demonetized by YouTube. We can just like chill and talk, and I'm like 2 shots in and down for vibes. This is a little candle that says, I trust the universe to provide me perfect guidance as I continue my journey in both my mind and body. It says essential oil, fragrance. Oh, it smells good. Frankincense, rosemary, cypress, citronella, and myrrhic. And then it's a crystal journey candle. You know, oh no. Okay, I like candles that have a crystal in them. I didn't even think about putting a crystal in my candles when I made them. I'll make another candle. Look, I have the rest of this candle to burn. And then once I burn that one, I'm going to I'll make a new one, and then I'll put a crystal inside the candle. I feel like that's a lot of fun. I have candles for sale on my Etsy too, in case you're interested. Oh, hello? Okay, this should have a light on it. It doesn't have that bright of a light. I didn't feel like turning on my super fun hair. Hold on. Ugh. There we go. Can you kind of see that light? Am I bluer? I'm a little bit bluer from this angle. Looks like a little blue. Okay, well, I'll let you in on a secret, which is I don't have anything to talk about today other than just checking in and saying hi. How are you? What's going on? Let me know what's happening. This is a good safe space to talk about things. You know, I feel like that's necessary. We all need a safe place to talk about real shit. We don't even realize that stuff is not like real or whatever or stuff is real until it's been so much time, you know? So I'm all for having a safe space to talk about what's going on in our life. I mean, so much cool stuff is happening in my life, and I'm sure so much cool stuff is happening in your life, and I really would love to know what's going on. I'd love to know. It's also just a good place to like practice, like just get in the vibe of, I don't know. Welcome though. Welcome. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions or anything they want to ask? Let me see. I'll think of some questions I have while I'm waiting on the chat for some questions. Let's see. Can I play a musical instrument? Yes, I can. I can also read sheet music. I can also read books. I'm pretty good at reading. I have a bunch of tarot cards, so if someone wants to leave a message in chat saying they want me to read the tarot cards, then I will gladly do that. I will gladly read tarot cards for you. What else? I'm easily overstimulated in my life, so I really like to. I'm kind of quirky. Not quirky enough to not be serious. Quirky enough to like know what's going on and also have my balance. I think balance is like a huge thing, because it means like it's all of your gravity and all of that stuff. It's just so important to have a good balance. So I'm about to make pizza dough. Hi. Hey guys. Hey, what's happening? I love making pizzas from scratch. I don't think I've ever made a pizza dough. What's up? What's happening? I don't think I've ever made a pizza dough, but I have for sure made pizza with like dough from like Safeway dough. And then like it's fun because you like knead it and then you roll it out with a rolling pin and you sprinkle cheese on it and then some pepperoni or some salami. Yum! Oh my gosh. Okay, that's fun. I also like a glass of wine with my pizza dough, with my pizzas. Making bread is fun. Pasta too. Oh my god, I would love to make a sourdough starter. If you want to drop the recipe for a sourdough starter, please feel free, because I would love to make it. I think I never have yeast. I never have any yeast. So I never make any bread other than banana bread. And then also, I'd love to make some pasta. That's for sure. Do you need yeast to make pasta? Is that a thing? You subscribe to my channel. That's so nice. But hello, hi, how are we? How are we? I hope we are doing great. I'm doing really good, you guys. Buy active dry yeast packets. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking for sure. They're red, I think, and then they have like they're just like a little powder of active dry yeast. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to grow some wheat too, so I could just like harvest some wheat in my backyard and get into making bread from scratch and stuff. And for pasta, all you need is all-purpose flour and eggs. Nice. So I can make pasta with flour and eggs. I probably do like, I don't know the measurements, but it can't be that hard. I made fettuccine alfredo, boxed pastaroni for dinner. That's what I had for dinner tonight. And then I used a smaller skillet to heat up some bacon bits with like canola oil sprayed on the smaller pan, bacon bits added to the pan, and then I put that in my pasta, in my fettuccine. And when I came home today, when I got home from work, right, when I got home today, I freaking took a shower, and while I was in the shower, I had my pasta, my fettuccine on the stove, and then I'm just like taking a shower downstairs, and then I got out the shower and put my clothes on, and then I heated up some bacon bits. and added them to my fettuccine alfredo, and then had the most delicious fettuccine alfredo ever. It's so good. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to wear pants tonight. Sometimes I think pants are overrated. That's just what I think sometimes. But it's not like not wearing pants, having a bowl of fettuccine alfredo and a glass of wine and maybe 2 shots of Fireball whiskey is causing anybody any harm. That's for sure. So I would love to make some pasta from scratch. I have a ton of spaghetti though downstairs. I have a ton of spaghetti and a ton of pasta sauce, which is actually a little bit hotter, which is kind of nice. It's pretty hot in California today. It was pretty hot. And it's funny though, because I live in a very, I live in such a specific part of California that it was really hot today, and I was like, thank God, thank Jesus, because I work at a theme park, and working at a theme park, you want it to be hot for the guests visiting. So it was really hot today, and that's really good. And I'm hoping that it's hot for the summer, but I just need the guests to be hydrated and know where all the water and where all the culinary and the rides and the shade and the benches. I really need guests to behave themselves in the theme park. That is like thing number one, is keep yourself hydrated and active in the park. You don't have to always be moving when you're in the park, but it's really important that you have access to water, and you're drinking your water, and you're waiting in the shade, and you're sitting. And I know right now a lot of guests are they're kind of coping with the loss of like our dolphin show. And so a lot of guests are just sitting around the dolphins. Sourdough, you need just flour and water to make the starter. A half cup of flour, 1/4 cup of water. Let it proof in the container for 24 hours in fridge, and cover it with a towel. Okay, look, I'm gonna read it again because I might actually do this. Sourdough, you just need flour and water. I am having a great night. Thank you so much. And I had a great day too. I can't wait to tell you about it. 1/2 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of water. Let it proof in the container. Okay, wait, that's how you make a starter, and then eventually you add the yeast, I guess. When does the yeast come in? Because I imagine that active dry yeast does come in for a sourdough starter. Let's see, I'm trying to get a good... I know it's really dark, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Okay. Is that a little bit better? That might be a little bit better. Yeah, when does active dry yeast come into play for a sourdough starter? That's what I want to know. And I am having a great night because I got to have a great day working at a theme park, working at a freaking amusement park. And that's like the coolest thing ever. I'm so into it. But I'm all about making sure that guests are having a good experience, and there's just a lot of people in the park every day. We're dealing with numbers of like 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, 20,000 people in the park at a time. When there's 10,000 plus, when there's like 8 to 10,000 people in the park, it's just crazy numbers. Like that is when our lines are packed. Every ride is open. You're going from ride to ride to ride. You're spending about an hour in line per ride, and we're like, rides is sending out like a train every like few minutes. They're sending out, I mean, for sure. So LPS is out and doing their thing, which is great. Security got an upgrade. I really am happy with our security in the park. And I'm also happy with seeing some of our engineers and our mechanics out and around the park lets people know what is coming next. So some of our mechanics are getting our water rides back up and running. No one really talks to our mechanics. Like, I love our mechanics. They are like Batman. Our mechanics are Batman working in the night. And they don't even work in the night. I think that's... Who told Sabrina Carpenter that... I mean, Sabrina Carpenter might be working late because she's a singer, but our mechanics are working late in the daytime to make sure our water rides are open so guests are not passing out, trying to get from one end of the park to another. Because there's so much to see. You have to imagine, like, Six Flags is only, like... I mean, it's like 30 acres or something. Hi! Hi, Nortel Gugamer. Nortel Gugamer. Hello. I hope you're having a good night too. Yeah, the park I work at is not a big park at all. I work pretty close to home, so I mean, the whole idea of an amusement park is that you kind of just like get lost in the world, and I'm sure that's how Disneyland, Anaheim, and Universal, like, I don't really care. I mean, it's not that I don't care. I just love the park that I get to be a part of. And so working at Six Flags, I mean, I'm just really proud of it too. So I get to make like meaningful contributions to the park. And if I knew that when I was 15, when I was first working at the park, I probably would have like stuck with it and know that the whole, like, I had room to make a positive influence on the park and the people visiting the park. So that's a huge part of what I think about these days, is like, how well can I provide a good experience for thousands of people in the park a day? And I'm talking like we're running into 1,000 to 2,000 people, and that's my day. You know, it's like you can sell out an arena. You can sell out a stadium or arena. Like, have you seen, like, Beyonce go on a stadium tour and been like, what is it like to go on a stadium tour? You just go to Six Flags. Go to Six Flags. Go to a stadium tour. Go somewhere. I never loved being, like, going to Universal Studios and being on the backlot tours and thinking, oh my God, or going to Warner Brothers and touring the Warner Brothers sound stages. And I always felt like there wasn't a place for me there. I always kind of knew, like, you know, like, I'd have to work really, really hard to be invited onto the Warner Brothers set, or, like, to do something with this, work for this. And I never felt that way with Six Flags. Six Flags always found a way to find me. And they came to my high school when I was a freshman in high school, I think. I was probably a sophomore. In high school, I was going to Angelo Rodriguez, and I was working at Angelo Rodriguez. I was going to school at Angelo. Awesome. I'm glad you had a great day. I understand I used to work with a traveling carnival. Not very long, though. The traveling was a lot, but I enjoyed every moment. I do miss the times. That's actually really interesting. And I wonder, like, I'm pretty happy with our show, working our show, and getting to stay close to home is like a huge benefit. I don't travel, so I'm not touring or like on the road or anything. You know, our show is pretty stationary at the moment. And I was curious what it's like to do a tour, you know, to do like a world tour, or like doing a tour it's just a whole nother level. Most of it is like transporting the instruments and the people and getting from place to place and being in contact with different venues and stuff, you know. That's like the majority of going on tour. And then there's a whole other element of like the hotels, where you sleep, where you stay, are you taking a tour bus, whatever, that's fine, sleep on the bus, you know, like it's that's fine. I think there's a song that's like they all say, and it's something about like taking a Greyhound bus on Broadway, something. And that's cool. I never really thought about going on tour. I'm not gonna lie, which is crazy to me because everyone I see go on tour, I have to be like, wasn't this the whole goal? Like, wasn't your goal to go on tour? And I'm not gonna say that it wasn't to go on tour, but I mean, like, the circumstances just have to line up perfectly, and you do so much work for that. I love this, the circus, by the way. I never saw Cirque du Soleil, which is fine, but I did see a traveling circus. And we also have, like, our state fair, which is kind of like a traveling carnival. And our state fair is coming in June. So the California State Fair, no, the Solano County State Fair is in June. And then the California State Fair is probably going to be sometime in, like, July, I'd imagine, probably. And that is in the capital. So it takes place in Sacramento, which is cool. And then we have the fairgrounds. And that's where I think that'll be in June. And when I was a kid, I got to see a circus, and it was so cool because I got to ride an elephant, and I just thought, like, this is so bizarre because as a kid, I half understood the idea that the circus travels. Like, I knew that it wouldn't be there a week from then, and also it was late to me as a kid. I was like, why is it so late, you know? And I was like, I'm up so late right now, and I need to get to school tomorrow, and blah, blah, blah. And I remember riding an elephant, and I was like, oh my God, I'm staying up all night. I'm staying up all night because I just rode a freaking elephant. And we used to have an elephant at Six Flags. We did used to have an elephant, but our elephant sadly is no longer. And that to me is such a disappointment. I think Six Flags should be home to the greatest animals to ever live. And I think many of my friends would agree with me on that. If you know that this is the perfect environment for any tropical or Arctic animal to live and thrive. Like, this is the place for an animal to thrive for sure. We have boas, we have giraffes that are just gorgeous giraffes that have, they just had a baby. Our giraffe baby is like 7 now, I think, and she's huge, and she's so cute, and she just sits, and she's so cute, and I love her so much. And, like, we just have a bunch of, like, ACS, animal care specialists that take care of our animals, and this is, like, their job. Like, this is their life, to train dolphins and raise giraffes and hyenas. I'm not making this shit up, yo. Like, I'm gonna have to take you guys to the park one day. I'm gonna have to take you guys to Six Flags so you can really see it for yourself, because I'm telling you, there's nothing like it until you've seen what's happening with the show. It's really something. It is fun and tough at times. Sleeping was never fancy, LOL. I just tried to think of it as camping every night for 8 months. But it was a great experience. I was 17 at the time. I love giraffes. I can't believe you're 17 going on tour like that. That's so insane. Like, I think the biggest part of it is, where do you sleep, right? I'm so blessed to sleep in my room. I have my lovely room. I think if you're on the road and you're just kind of like sleeping on buses or planes, then, I mean, that's just life on the road, right? But yeah, there's like smart decisions we can make to have a more comfortable experience, like staying at home and just I don't know, man. I don't know. I really am big into comfort. Like, how comfortable is this sleepover? I think that is a question I ask myself a lot, where, like, you know, like, making sure that everyone's comfortable. You ever have people over for a sleepover? It's like, You know, does everyone have a blanket and a pillow and a place on the floor for them to sleep? That's so important though, because sometimes you walk into a sleepover and you're like, oh my God, there's nowhere for me to put my head down. And every good sleepover, hello, has a good place for you to sleep. I think a good place for you to be like, this is my little corner for the night. This is my little corner for the night, and I'm gonna make it mine. Light on me. That is my dog over there. This is Lele. Leia, come here. Come say hi. Arrow. Arrow. I love her. I love. I love you. Come here. You wanna come say hi? Come here. She keeps me in line. Very helpful. Hey, cutie pot. What are you doing? What are you doing? I love animals. I didn't expect to get this into it, but here I am. I'm into it. What? Nothing? Nothing much, Mommy? Nothing much? She's all big and stuff. Said hi. Hello. Hello. What's happening? Yeah. I just have my dreams coming true, and that is so bizarre, but so cool. So cool. And it's important not to mix up fantasy with reality, but just do it in a way that, you know, do it in a way that makes sense. That's important. Do it in a way that you're like, hey, this is contributing to the good of the world. Your name. You just say you name. And I imagine maybe so happy. I know, me too. Me too. I imagine working in a carnival is just really, really cool. I always think about like how well goldfish are transported. To be fair, I was a terrible goldfish mother. I was so bad. And sometimes my goldfish survive. What is crazy to me is that my friend's sister raised a goldfish that was gigantic. And I was like, how the fuck is this fish so big? I was like, how did she get this goldfish to be so big? And I would love to do that, but I don't have anywhere to put a goldfish to get big and gigantic other than where I work. And that is not the place for a goldfish right now. But I do have tiny fish tanks. I do have fish here. I have fish in the office. And I could raise big fish. You just can't panic. Like when you're raising animals or something, you just can't panic. And be surprised at how intelligent things are. I think everything is intelligent. I think the worst thing we do is assume things aren't intelligent. But everything has intelligence and is intelligent, and it's just about thank you. It's just about how we use our intelligence. So sometimes, you know, like a goldfish might have a small brain or something, but it'd be a very intelligent creature. And if my goldfish were unhappy when I took them home, they just got really, really overwhelmed by everything going on. That's a mistake I made trying to show goldfish a bunch of shit happening, and my poor goldfish couldn't take it, and they died like one after the other, and it was really sad, and I felt really bad. I didn't want to keep my goldfish secret and hidden from the world. I wanted to let the world know that I had new goldfish, but I could have given them a little warning first, taken them home and all that shit, you know. Sorry, but all that stuff. Lucky for you, that's one of the boots I ran. The bigger the tank and the more you feed it, the bigger they will get. Usually we would not have to transport them back and forth. Usually we would sell. And we go to our new high location, we would go to a local pet store and buy a bunch and set them up. That's really cool. I figured that's kind of what happened. So like, it's fun going to, I love the experience. I just think it's really cool. And then I think in like 2016 or something, like a few years ago, they had it where you would get a certificate for winning a goldfish, and then yeah, you could go to your local pet store and go get one, which is cool. That is pretty cool. I like leaving I mean, I'm sure you can transport fish, but walking around with a bunch of fish and transporting them like cargo is maybe not the smartest idea. Maybe not. And speaking of which, I haven't been to our aquarium in a good amount of time. I think our aquarium is located next to Looney Tunes, actually, I think. Let's see, can I orient myself? Okay, so games, and then Looney Tunes, and there's just a whole backside of the park. Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I like to visit the park a lot, and I just like to know my way around. I think that's so cool. It's kind of trippy though, because working in an amusement park, you end up bringing that shit home, and like my room has turned into an amusement park, and it's the same thing with like my Minecraft worlds. I literally have like 3 versions of reality. One is here in my little like actual world, and then 2 is my Minecraft world, which is like my virtual reality, and 3 is my memories. 3 is my memories where I'm like, oh, I know, I remember walking around here or seeing this or blah blah blah. And then there's kind of like the 4th, which is like your dreams. Yeah, it is really good. It's really good, and I get to do a lot of different things. You know, I think just having a good moral conscience is a great place to have a good baseline. You know, having a good moral conscience kind of steers you right from wrong. This is right, this is wrong, this is left, this is right. And that's enough to get you places. But then, you know, my job too can develop into like, oh, today I'm training to get my scuba license, so I can clean the dolphin tank and a bunch of shit, you know, like it's so cool, because like if I wanted to, that is something I wanted to maybe do, was like get my scuba license. I think you really do need a few years of scuba experience to start cleaning and doing maintenance on the like aquarium or something, but it's a perfect place to learn. And our park, our theme park offers, like, you can spend the night with sharks. You can spend the night in our aquarium. It's a great place to have a like really dope sleepover. That's just so cool. I mean, you can do anything in the theme park. You really can, and that's how you know that they built something great. you know, and I love, I love, I just love the park. I don't have any complaints or anything to add other than I think it's a really great thing that they've been able to do, and a vision that they had that has come to reality. And like, these are like the final pieces coming into place for this dream to be like reality. And there's just like, there's plenty of room for growth too. It's not just like, okay, all the pieces are in place, we finished the puzzle, now we throw it away. You know, it's like, no, we keep adding to the puzzle. We keep creating new pieces that are interactive for people to get involved with. And I think it's so cool for there to just always be room for a good experience and a good time in the park. And it's like, hey, what didn't work about the ski show, you know? Can we bring it back? If we had Batman and Robin in our DC Plaza still, our DC Plaza is still doing its thing, then it's like, hey, we should probably bring back the ski show. We have this big lake and there's nothing on it, and you know, it's just a great place for visionaries to dream and build things that become reality. I think that's really, really cool. There's a whole park on the other side of our park, which is like open to the public, and that's cool too. I can't imagine the care that goes into raising something. You know, like, the best I've done is been able to raise myself, and half the time I'm like raising myself and something else, which just sounds like a lot of fun. I really, really, really want to do that, but I feel like I have to raise myself still in order to, you know, in order to be able to be like, hey, I am ready to raise another human being. Ew. But I do want to raise another human being. I do. And I feel like you just have to know that. Like, you really do have to be like, yes, this is what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to have a family. Like, I always thought, like, having a family was by default. Like, you just, like, life came with having a family. But, no, it doesn't. You have to work really hard to have a family and have a dream and that kind of stuff. Like, I love the World's Fair. I love, there's so many things about life that I really adore, and so many details that's like, oh, this is how this was possible, you know? And so I'm into that. I'm into being like, hey, this is what makes life possible, and I want to do more of that. I want to do as much of life as I can. And you just have to be so specific about it too. You have to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing with my life. Which I just think is really cool. And I love people that have it figured out, you know? I love people that have it figured out. Like, I'm always watching, like, Hermitcraft, and there's just a certain consistency that some people have that I really like. Oh my god, I'm trying to freaking... come off it. Hello. It's gonna bother me. I hate being bothered. Let me see. I'm sure there's plenty I can do about it, and I'm not going to. NOT, not gonna do it. So excited. I just have this music playing in my head from our show rehearsals today. It's crazy, man. It's gonna be such a good show. I swear. I promise. It's such a good show. I'm a mom and my baby is 5 and she is the reason I keep going. I love every bit of it, even the hard parts. That's what I'm talking about, girl. I'm talking about being a mom, having a family, and I feel like I spend so much time trying to respect and love my mom, which I just do. Like, I just love my mom. But the love thing, that's the part where it's like, you gotta show somebody love. You ever like have somebody show you love and you're like, oh my God, this is really what it is like to be loved. And I just think that's so great. But I also think you just have to have such a you just have to know what love is. I want to know what love is, You have to know what love is to just completely be like, I am completely in love. I'm completely enamored and obsessed with being in love. And I can't tell sometimes if I'm like, is this what being love is? Or is it like, I didn't know what love was until I had her. That's when I found out. I'm telling you, girl, like, my close friend and my neighbor just had a baby. And I got the chance to hang out with her baby a little bit and just, like, meet this little guy. And I was like, holy smokes. Oh, my God. This is love. This is what love is. And when I learned what love is, y'all, there was no turning back. There's no turning back. Once you get a taste of what love can do for you, there's no going back. It's just, you just learn to be like, oh my God, everything around me was created because someone loved this. Someone found a way to love what they do. And like my MacBooks, all my computers are built by someone that just loved to build computers. And I think the more you look at life that way, where you're like, oh my God, like this door was invented by someone who loved to do this. And I've always been obsessed with inventions. I always thought like steampunk was so cool. And it is. It really is. But, the best part is having your hands on it. That's the best part. That's the best part. Having your hands on it, girl. And, like, man, what can I say? What can I say, you guys? What can I say? I love it. I love. And I always think I figured everything out, and then I realized that I was nowhere near having it all figured out. Maybe part of me thought that I had it all figured out, and the other half of me had to realize what I was missing. And I'm like, that shit is so cool. That shit, motherfucker, is so cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, motherfucker. I'm into it. I love it. I know. There's just so much to be in love with. And I mean, like, when you live life like this, you have to imagine, that this is what life is all about. I imagine anyone that tells you any less than living your life like this, you're gonna miss out on shit. Having FOMO is a disease. FOMO is a disease, y'all. Fear of missing out, fuck that shit. Because when you feel it, god damn it, you're depressed. And when you're in it, you're like missing out of what? Missing out of what? And when you're in the moment, when you're living, when you're like, oh my god, this is the experience, this is like the rhythm and the beat that was keeping me down, but now it's keeping me up, you know? And it's like, I'm not gonna fall. I'm going to keep riding the rhythm and the wave. And when you get into that headspace, it's like, oh, this is what life is. Oh, I get it. This is what everyone's trying to tell me about. And I always thought like being on the vibe was like dangerous. I was like, isn't it unsafe to be this, you know, into the base or something? And it turned out no. Like, the best part about being in the vibe or like having a good time is it's when you know you're safe. You know, it's when you're like, I know I'm safe here. I know I'm welcome here. I know I'm comfortable. I knew it. I got it right. It's here. And that's when you're like, yes, I did it. Period. I did it. And oh man, I love that stuff. I love it. That's my whole job, is getting people into that experience. It's roping them in to say, hey, you're safe here. You have a place here. Open your eyes, look around, see what's happening. This is dope. This is so cool. That's my whole job. And it's not, it just takes a lot of concentration and mental focus, and sometimes a lot of headaches that make my forehead kind of big, but sometimes it takes a little bit of headache. But I get through it. When my headache is over, when my headache is gone, I get to be like, yo, motherfucker, this is what life is all about. Come on. Come on. This is what life is all about. And then you have to imagine that at the end of your life, you know, you look back and say, damn, I did everything I want to do. I seen everything in life. I seen everything that life has to offer. Isn't that crazy? Is that not crazy? Is that not crazy? I seen everything that life has to offer. That is a little wild and so cool. So cool. I'm so into it. I can't wait. I can't wait. I know that's exactly what is in store for life. And for, you know, for life. It really is. It's going to be everything that life has to offer. And then I can peacefully rest my head and be like, holy shit, I did it. I fucking did it. It's a little bananas to think about, because there's so many details that have to be thought about before I can really be like on the roll, on the road, hitting the, you know, doing the thing. There's so many things to think about. I like to think of it like, how many languages do you speak, girl? How many languages, how flexible are you, girl? And I'm about to let me tell you, you don't have to do 110% all the time. You don't have to do a full out every time in order to get really flexible. You just gotta know what you're talking about. Period. But yeah. Yes, girl, yes. I'm so excited. I just love it. I love it. It takes a lot of mental focus. It takes a lot of brain power. But you'll get it. You'll get it. Yay. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I want to know all about what's going on, you guys. I want to know all about what's going on. Tell me what's up. Tell me what's up. I'm going to go. I'm going to go because I have to go to work tomorrow, and I like to have my brain resting before I go to work. Thank you guys for joining me. Again, this VOD will be up on my channel for you to watch over and over again, as you please. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I can't wait to get to know you guys more and meet some of you at the park and see what's going on. I enjoy. You have a great time too, and you know, I'll see you around. I'll see you around. It's not goodbye forever. It's just goodbye for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah? Yay! Sleepy time. Sleepy sleepover sleep time. I'm so excited. Love you guys. I love you guys so much. I'm so excited. Okay, we're gonna have a good time. Good night's sleep, yeah? Perfection, because we'll go live and hopefully I can introduce you to the giraffes. Hopefully. Hopefully I can do that. I'm so excited. You guys are gonna meet the giraffes. You're gonna meet the coyotes. You're gonna meet everyone. And it's gonna be so much fun. And I'm so excited to bring you along with me. But you girl has got to get some beauty sleep. For sure. Okay. I'm out. I'm OUT. Out of here. Peace. Have a good night. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.